Voyager 1's Final Whisper, Strange Signals from Beyond the Solar System. Chapter 1. A Message from the Edge of Existence. More than 22 billion kilometers from Earth, where sunlight is just a faint shimmer and the space between stars grows thick with silence, a strange signal flickers back across the void. It's a pulse of data, fractured and irregular. Not noise, not silence, but something in between. At NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, engineers huddle around consoles. The signal has arrived from Voyager 1, the most distant human-made object in existence, launched in 1977. But this time, the message doesn't make sense. It's a garbled stream of binary code, a repeating pattern of ones and zeros with no clear meaning. The question echoes across the control room. Is Voyager 1 malfunctioning? Or is it trying to tell us something that we've never seen before? Chapter 2. The Greatest Journey in Human History. When Voyager 1 blasted off on September 5, 1977, no one could have imagined it would still be alive and communicating, over 45 years later. Designed for a 5-year mission to explore Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager 1 quickly exceeded all expectations. It flew past Jupiter in 1979, capturing the first close-up images of the planet's swirling storms and violent atmosphere. It gave humanity its first glimpse of volcanoes erupting on Jupiter's moon Io and hints of oceans beneath the icy shell of Europa. Then came Saturn, with its rings like ancient vinyl discs stretching into the black. Voyager 1 revealed the complex structures of these rings and probed the thick, orange atmosphere of Titan, Saturn's largest moon. That mysterious haze sparked debates about methane lakes, hydrocarbon rain, and the possibility of Earth-like weather systems on another world. But Voyager didn't stop there. It kept going. Chapter 3. Into the Interstellar Ocean. By the early 1990s, Voyager 1 had crossed Neptune's orbit and plunged into the Kuiper Belt, the icy outer frontier of our solar system. For over a decade, it coasted silently through a wilderness of frozen debris. Then, on August 25, 2012, Voyager 1 passed an invisible threshold, the heliopause, the boundary where the solar wind yields to the pressure of interstellar space. Humanity had officially entered the galaxy. In this dark region, space is not empty. It pulses with cosmic rays, swirls with magnetic fields, and shimmers with faint plasma waves. And Voyager, miraculously, kept sending data. That data changed everything. Voyager 1 showed that interstellar space was denser than expected, filled with charged particles, and riddled with magnetic structures more complex and powerful than previously thought. It hinted at ancient remnants of primordial magnetic fields, perhaps leftover from the Big Bang itself. These may be the building blocks of galaxy formation, star birth, and cosmic architecture. The spacecraft was literally rewriting our map of the galaxy. Chapter 4. Signals that shouldn't exist. Then, in late 2021, a strange anomaly appeared. Voyager 1 began sending telemetry data from its Attitude Articulation and Control System, AACS, the system that keeps its antenna pointed toward Earth, but the data made no sense. Readings were chaotic. Temperatures, voltages, and orientation values contradicted themselves. The numbers were logically impossible. The team feared the worst. Had the spacecraft lost its ability to orient itself in space? But curiously, the signal itself was strong and stable. The antenna was still perfectly aligned with Earth. Voyager 1 hadn't tumbled into space. Its instruments were just speaking nonsense. NASA engineers dusted off 50-year-old blueprints and brought retired specialists out of retirement. After painstaking investigation, they discovered the AACS had begun sending data through the wrong communication channel, one it wasn't designed to use. No one knows why. But with a clever software patch, transmitted across billions of kilometers, NASA rerouted the data and restored normal operations. It was a narrow escape. Chapter 5. The 2023 Breakdown. But Voyager 1's story was not finished. On November 14, 2023, the signal changed again. The spacecraft began transmitting a continuous stream of zeros and ones, a repetitive pattern that didn't match any known dataset. Again, Voyager wasn't silent. It was broadcasting something. But what? At first, the team feared a critical systems failure, this time in the Flight Data System, FDS, the brain that collects, processes, and sends science data from the spacecraft. But one engineer at NASA's Deep Space Network made a breakthrough. He realized the signal wasn't random. It was a complete memory dump of the spacecraft's internal systems. Voyager 1 had somehow begun broadcasting its own digital brain. It was a desperate cry for help, a final log, perhaps even a failsafe. Despite this data transmission error, Voyager could still receive commands, which suggested that the entire spacecraft hadn't failed. NASA's team quickly began experimenting with old operating modes, some of which hadn't been used since the Jupiter and Saturn flybys over 4 decades ago. It was risky. A single bad command could brick the entire spacecraft. But the team had nothing to lose, and everything to gain. Chapter 6. The Future of a Legend. Now, in mid-2025, the status of Voyager 1 remains tenuous. NASA has not declared the probe dead, but they're preparing for that possibility. Suzanne Dodd, project manager for the Voyager missions, expressed cautious pessimism in a recent update, acknowledging the growing likelihood that the probe's ability to send useful data may never be fully restored. "We're trying to resurrect systems that haven't been used in 40 years, she said. But the spacecraft still talks to us, and that means there's hope. Hope, after all, is what Voyager was always about. Chapter 7. The Golden Legacy. No matter what happens next, Voyager 1's mission has already secured its place in human history. It has traveled farther than any other object built by our hands. It has peered into the unknown and taught us that space is not a silent void, but a dynamic, living frontier. And on board, carried into the interstellar dark, is the Golden Record, a copper disc encoded with images of Earth, greetings in 55 languages, sounds of whales and children laughing, and music from Bach to Chuck Berry. It is our message in a cosmic bottle. Should an alien intelligence ever find Voyager 1, they will learn not just about our science, but about our spirit, the deep yearning of a young civilization looking up and saying, "We're here. We existed. And we wanted to know what was out there." Epilogue. A whisper in the dark. Voyager may first be fading. Its systems are old, its power diminishing. By 2026, its nuclear generator will no longer produce enough electricity to operate even one instrument. But for now, it still speaks. And as long as that signal keeps coming, however faint, however strange, we are still connected to the stars. Perhaps what Voyager is telling us now, through corrupted code, memory dumps, and faint whispers, is not an error, but a message. There's more out here. More than we ever dreamed. And maybe, just maybe, it's calling us forward.